I'm Derek.
And I'm Jared, and this is Two Peas and a Pod.
How's everything in life, bud?
Man, I tell you what, first off, I want to apologize to our listeners. It's been crazy. These past 2 weeks, man, for work, helping other stores, doing some mentor circling and some observing. I've been in, I think we talked about this last podcast, or maybe it was off air. I've been in Minneapolis, I've been in Des Moines, been outside a couple different small towns around where I live. I haven't had a lot of time to do diddly squat, but I will get this posted. I'm sure listeners, you're listening to it. You'll get a 2-for-1 special on the podcast. So you'll hear the last one you probably just listened to, and you'll hear this one. So, what about you? How have you been?
I've been good. I've also been traveling a lot. Been to Chicago, down to Iowa, back to the Dakotas, back home, back to Dakotas, back home. And
Yeah.
that's just 2 weeks time, right?
Yep.
So
Yep. You,
it's been fun.
you and I has kind of missed each other the last,
Yeah,
2 weeks. So
exactly.
I
We were
think
gonna meet
normalcy
up.
is coming.
We were gonna meet up,
Yep.
but then Jared's like, "You kind of smell bad, so no
Yeah.
thanks."
I smelt them from 2 towns away, and I was like,
Yeah,
not
nope,
today.
not today.
So,
That's okay. I was
um,
pretty hungover that day. Went to a Timberwolves game the night before for
yeah.
a corporate outing and
And
drank about 10 IPAs, maybe
well,
even more.
if I had to watch them play and lose like that, I probably would have done the same thing.
And Anthony Edwards dropped 50. Dude,
And
you realize
then,
you realize the Timberwolves were the number one team in the West, right?
yeah, but didn't they lose the game you went to?
No, they won it. They were
Oh, I
down.
must
They
have
were
been.
down. They were
That's
down
right. Yeah.
21 points or
All
something
right.
like that at a
It was
point.
the last game, the game before maybe that I saw that I was giving my buddy some
Oh, I don't
crap
know.
about. So, but
Yeah, they were down bad. They were down bad, and
s-
then Anthony Edwards dropped 51 and changed the dynamic of the won by probably 15.
nice, nice. So, do you want to talk about what's coming up for this podcast later this week, or do you want me to talk about it?
Oh, uh, you drop the ball of what's coming, the up and
All
comings.
right.
I'm not the up and
So,
coming guy. I've just got
um,
the face for radio. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, and the voice of a silent partner. But so later this week, we are gonna do our first ever special. We're gonna
Yeah.
have a special guest. One of my buddies is gonna come on. We're gonna have a special guest, and we're gonna talk about a pretty hot topic over the last technically 4 years, right, since COVID, maybe, or maybe 2021. Mental health. We're gonna talk a lot about mental health and kind of maybe some of our experiences, kind of what we do, as managers and high pressure situations, how we handle that. And going to be a little bit longer than a half hour, so stay tuned. It's going to be a special. So it won't be a live special, but those are TBD. But look forward to that by the end of this week. So super excited.
Well, and I mean, I would say mental health has been very big when people all of a sudden got isolated because I think we were kind of social creatures, and so I think that was a magnifying glass on top of a problem that was already existent. With for me personally, coming from a military background, I mean, we lose more soldiers to suicide than
Yep.
we do to war. It's 1 in 7. Now, this is the statistic for white men, and that's because they actually have the highest suicide rate out of anybody in the military is like 18 to 25-year-olds, I believe. One out
Wow.
of seven. 1 out of 7 will take their own life, that's a lot. That's a
Wow.
very
Yeah. One,
one in
one, one
seven
in
is
one in 100 and 1 in 50. That's a
feels
lot. So
bad.
one in yeah
Yeah,
yeah
exactly. That feels bad. So 1 in 7 is like those are numbers. It's almost kind of hard to even believe that that's true almost. Like in my opinion, that's how bad that number is.
yeah.
Um,
I
so
agree.
So I think that's dark. However, hopefully, the positive of what that episode is to bring is a discussion about how if you're maybe dealing with these types of things, or somebody else is dealing with these types of things, how you can help each other, help yourself, go seek help. It's a empowering thing to reach out, I would say. So
Yeah,
be
yeah.
great to
Not to
talk about that.
Yeah, not to dig into too much, but yeah, I agree. I think it's something that some people don't even realize they're struggling with
Hmm.
until it's either too late or until something has happened um, that they don't even realize, and it's maybe a pretty big blow up or a big thing that causes some hurtful events and stuff. So, anyways, on a lighter note, maybe not a lighter note, but you know what I mean. We're going to talk about some Karens today, or one
No,
Karen in
yeah, Karen
particular.
joked and died on keys. What are you talking about? This isn't a
Oh,
light note.
yeah.
Yeah, guys, there was
It's
a Karen out there. She swallowed a. You've heard of the old lady that swallowed a fly, and
yeah.
eventually
Good,
became a horse, and
good,
she's dead,
good.
of course.
Yeah, yeah. Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
So, a beloved ostrich at the Topeka Zoo and Conservation Center in Kansas has died after swallowing a staff member's keys. I think this story is tragic, mainly because I've never really gone to zoos, and now I have 3 kids, and now I feel like going to the zoo is almost like a monthly occurrence. Any zoo, I'm here in Minnesota, so I've got the Minnesota Zoo. I've got I
You have
can't
a
think of that
couple, don't
other.
you? Don't
Yeah,
you like
there's another.
three, something like
Yeah,
that?
there's another one, and I excuse me.
COVID's
It's
making a
arguably
comeback for
better.
Derek.
Yeah, it's arguably better. My wife was throwing up last night. My oldest was throwing up last night.
Oof. So, I've actually been
Heck,
to
I'll
one of
take it.
those. I've already been to one of those zoos in Minneapolis. I was there, oof, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, something like
Okay.
that. Yeah. So, um,
To Como, Como Zoo. That's the other
yeah,
one that's in
that's
there.
the one I went to. I went to the
Okay.
Como Zoo.
Yeah, they got a polar bear. It's way more indoor-y, friendly than the Minnesota
Hmm.
Zoo. The Minnesota Zoo is not very indoor friendly, although they do have like a whole, like bird atrium, and they have like an Animals of Minnesota walkthrough where you can see some
Yeah.
otters and stuff, cool things. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. So, what's your take? Do you think zoos? Yeah, I got a buddy that literally will not go to zoos because he feels like supporting them is like a travesty to society. I'm not going to necessarily go that far, but I
Yeah.
will say, like, I think these animals might have longer lives. But if you were to ask me if I think they had better lives, I'd say no. I think there's something about an
Yeah.
animal in its own natural habitat that you just can't. There's a reason people sell cage-free chickens. You know what I'm saying? And that's a
Right.
chicken. Chickens are
Yeah.
stupid.
um, so I apologize to the recently passed Karen. It was not a more lighter note, but it was very, very punny. It was very
I just
punny.
love that her name was Karen.
Yeah, yeah. So my take on zoos, I think they serve a purpose, or they did serve a purpose, and because of the attractions that it brings, um, it's become a a tragic or a sad notation for a lot of people. So what I mean by that is, so a lot of times, zoos, they will take endangered species, keep them in captivity, protect them, breed them, rebreed, and help repopulate an endangered species. Bald eagles, big example, right? A lot of conservative um, areas and zoos had them and read them and really helped with the population, is obviously outlawing hunting of them and stuff. But as they grew in popularity, years and years, it's turned into, like you said, it's a cage, right? You talk about giraffes and elephants and lions, they roam. Well, I don't know the stat. I'll have to look it up. Technically, like prides, they only live in like 100 square x radius or x mile radius in their entire lives. So
Hmm.
they have, but it's not a 100 yard by 100 yard cage. So,
Yeah.
um,
If you didn't have a car, how far would you live from where you started?
my basement.
Yeah.
No, I like them. Honestly, I do like going to them just because of the exoticness, right? It never in my life would I ever see a lion or an
Hmm.
elephant if I didn't go to a zoo. And I think about, so I went to Disney World when I was 8 years old with my family. and they have the Sea World. They have all these different things. That was one of the coolest things that I've ever been to when I was a kid, right?
You see an
Seeing these,
orca?
yep, so saw an orca, saw, the lions, I fed the giraffe. I did all these cool things. And as a kid, you love it because you don't understand it, right? You see an animal, you get to look at it, get to see it up close, all that kind of stuff. And then as you grow older, you understand what a zoo is, I guess. So
Yeah, all the mysticism is
yeah,
peeled away, and the adult brain turns on and is like, wow, this is actually somewhat horrendous.
yeah.
What's
Well,
going on here?
um,
To a degree, you know where your next meal's coming from, which is something animals don't always get the
yeah.
privilege of doing. You're not going to necessarily get killed unless a zookeeper drops his keys. He gobble those babies up and swallow them,
And you
or
potentially get to have some fun with zookeepers.
yeah, or yeah, or a lion escapes into the zebra pen, and now you're just kind of a sitting duck.
Yeah,
But I mean, maybe
yeah.
those types of things do happen, right? But arguably, you would say that captivity is safer. But you could say
Right.
that. Well, actually, you couldn't say that about human prisons. I don't think captivity is safer.
We are. Yeah, we are. I would say
We're
that's
innovative
still pretty
creatures.
dangerous. Yeah,
You ever heard
yeah.
of a
So,
shank? Yeah,
uh,
they're not supposed to be in there, but we find out ways
uh,
to make them. Toothbrushes, fingernail files, shoelaces. I'll strangle you.
I think Derek needs to talk about how he knows about all this different stuff besides from TV, but we won't dig into that today.
I did 5 days in the county.
Did you play poker? Played a lot of poker.
No, dude. We watched a lot of TV. There was 4 dudes in there. And Sergio, I mean, he'd been in there for 7 months, so obviously I'm only here for 5 days. You got the rights. But I can't remember. There was something that was supposed to be on. It might have even been the Super Bowl, to be
Yeah.
100% honest with you. And he had The Voice on, and it was like, bruh,
Oh man, don't hate on the voice. I mean, it's not. I mean,
the
it's not bad.
Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah. I guess instead of the Super Bowl, yeah. Maybe he wasn't into
But
football, man.
yeah, whatever. I took a notepad. I doodled pictures and all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff, and they fed you meals, but you never left that cell. I was in Edmonds County, and it was just a small county jail, and so you just never left. It was only 5 days.
Can I ask? Can I ask you without um repercussions? Why 5 days? What'd you do?
Oh,
What happened?
five counts of furnishing alcohol to minors. So I was
Oops.
yeah, I was 21. I was 21. Everybody else on the boat was 20 something, and we were on a boat. Matter of fact, a gentleman that
Yep.
almost got a buoy, but I think that got
Reduced.
leveled down. Yes,
Right.
reduced, because he was sitting in the driver's seat of the boat, but the boat wasn't
It
running.
was right.
It
Right.
was sitting. Yeah, so it was like, okay, that's kind of a little bit of a stretch, but I believe he was charged, or originally
Right. Right.
ticketed for a buoy. But yeah, so each one of those carries a maximum sentence of 30 days. They were each reduced to 1 day, so I got 1 day per 5 counts of furnishing
Yeah.
alcohol to minors for drinking with my friends on a boat.
Moral of the story: you had fun.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, it was a good time.
Right.
I mean, I was a kid. You do dumb stuff when you're kids, and
Right.
I don't
Right.
even know that was that dumb of stuff. If you think going
Well,
for some
and
beers on a boat, 21 and 20. It was literally the 4th of
right.
July weekend.
Well, just think
Um,
back. Think back 15, 20 years ago. 18 was the legal drinking age, right?
yeah.
So I mean, it could have been worse. It's not like they were 15-year-old kids or
Yeah, no. No,
that
then
kind of
it's
stuff.
then it's then it's no longer furnishing. Then it's supplying alcohol to minors when they're under 18. Furnishing is
Gotcha.
because they're between the ages of 18 and
Right.
21.
Well, that's I guess
So,
helpful for you, but
yeah. I don't
um, that was
I
a long
don't
time
really know.
ago.
Yeah, dude. A whole 11 years ago. 12
Yeah.
years ago. Something
Yeah.
like that. So anyway, good times, but yeah, you it's yeah, learning experiences in life.
Yeah.
I've got Not saying I'm proud to have those stories to tell, but I'm okay with telling them. They're just
Right.
a chapter in the book. You know what I mean?
So yeah. So speaking of Super Bowl, aka sports, um, the NBA playoffs just started um, last weekend, this week,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
Last weekend.
Last weekend. I, I guess I haven't watched NBA in a while. There's this new thing called the play-in games.
Yeah.
Not sure if I really understand them too much. I guess I haven't read much about them. Do you know? Do you know how what that looks like? Is it kind of like the first four of March Madness, or what? What does that all entail?
Yeah, yeah. So it's a single elimination play-in tournament. You have 4 teams. You have the 10 team through the 8 team, and they're playing for the 7th seed and the 8th seed on each the East and the West. And
Mm-hmm.
so the 9-10 play each other, and the winner moves on to the next game in the play-in tournament. And the 7 and 8 play each other, and the winner of that game gets the 7th seed in the tournament. And then the
Okay.
loser goes to play the winner of the 9-10 game, and then the winner of that gets the A seed in the tournament. And then from there, then the tournament starts and you play best of 7.
So it's essentially exactly like the first four, right?
Yeah,
Four
kind of.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Well, I
for
guess
the
it's six games,
NCAA,
but
correct. Exactly. There is an extra game in there. It's not just 2 teams playing for a spot. It is kind of 2 teams playing for a spot, but there's a way to finagle it because you still have this ranking. You've still earned a certain level of ranking.
you
So
get
like the
like
7 and 8, you get a benefit for being in the 7 and 8 slot. You just got to win one game. Whereas if you're
right.
in the 9-10, you really don't even
So
belong.
it's
Usually it would just be the 7-8s in the tournament, right?
right.
They were
So
just
so it's a
automatically
it's
in.
a
It was just top 8. So now
it's a
it's,
win in scenario is what you're saying
yeah,
for these teams.
exactly.
Gotcha.
Yep, exactly.
You
One
know,
one game.
what's crazy is obviously the NBA kind of I guess took that, if you will, from NCAA. Interesting that they went that route because usually it's just top 8 teams, and
East and West. Yep.
right, right. So me and my buddy were talking about it last week, and I was like, "So how many games are there? Like, does it matter your record anymore? Like, what if it was more than just those 4 games? Obviously, I didn't know too much about it. If you had 8 games and 16 teams playing, it almost discredits your record throughout the year. And we were kind of talking about how that would be pretty weird. So I'm glad
Mhm.
it's not that. So
Mhm.
you lose the competitiveness, I think. So
Yeah.
um, do you watch a lot of NBA? Because I kind of steered away a little bit from watching that.
Yeah, I watch a decent amount. I mean, not I wouldn't say a lot by any means. I'll watch a game if it's on. I enjoy watching basketball probably more than I like. I watch football because I participate in fantasy football. Like
Right.
I as soon as fantasy football is over, I don't watch the playoffs and then I watch the Super Bowl. Because I'm a
But
Raiders
didn't you
fan and
just
so there's
but
no
didn't you just
purpose of
say
me
like you were
watching.
mad that the Super Bowl wasn't playing and The Voice was if you don't watch the Super
Yeah,
Bowl?
because I watched the Super Bowl.
You
I
said you
watched the Super
didn't. Oh, you watched. I'm
I
sorry.
watch the Super Bowl. I don't watch any of the playoff games,
You
really.
just watched.
I
Got it.
do kind of watch them, but for the most part, I really just don't care. I'm a Raiders fan. There's no reason for me to watch the playoffs since like 2002.
Well,
So, yeah, Sag
I
day.
appreciate your trade, by the way. Appreciate that taking Josh Jacobs off your hands. Appreciate you for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you guys are welcome. Enjoy his prima donna-ness.
Well, it can't be worse
He,
than Aaron Rodgers. So
yeah, yeah. Aaron Rodgers has championships under his belt. He can
one,
he could be a bit of a prima donna. Hey, how many
one.
Super Bowl titles you got?
My
Okay.
team's got I think 4, 5, but me,
Not as many as Tom Brady does by himself.
yeah, yeah. Hey, the Packers are the only publicly, or I guess, fan-owned team left. Okay, so those
Yeah.
championships are our championships.
And they can't even play in Europe because they don't have a runway that allows them to get there.
That's why they're going to Brazil or some,
Yeah, but they need to
wherever,
build
New
a
Zealand,
runway that
whatever it is.
allows them to. They have to drive to Milwaukee first in order to fly out.
Whatever.
Get a better airport.
We have the oldest, one of the oldest stadiums. I mean, it's nostalgia at this point. Like, why break it if it ain't broken, or why fix it if it ain't broke?
You want to try that one more time?
I already said it. I said it. I'm not saying it again. I said what I said.
Why fix what ain't broken?
Correct. Why break it? Why break it if it's fixed? You know.
Yeah. So anyway, I do like to watch basketball though. I think
Okay.
basketball is a fun, intricate sport. The Timberwolves have been fun to watch for me since I've lived here. They have been actually a decent team.
Okay.
Dude, they
How
have
how many championships have they had?
none.
Okay.
But
Minnesota sports, man.
I've been here for
You
3
guys-
years.
You guys have
I've been
to be
here
the
for
most
3 years.
loyal. Not
I'm
even
a
just
Bulls
NBA.
fan. I'm a
You
Bulls
shouldn't
fan.
be. Oh, you
I'm a
are?
Bull-
Why do you?
Yes,
why
and
do
the
you watch
Timberwolves are doing.
Timberwolves?
The Timberwolves are doing better than the Bulls are. What do you mean? The Bulls have been. They stink right now.
All right. I'll calm down. I think Minnesota has the most loyal fans because year after year, you guys get so close and you just choke, ruin it.
I'm not a
Whatever
fan
that
of
looks
any
like.
Minnesota team.
I'm just saying, you live in Minnesota, so I want to talk about it a
I
little
know.
bit.
Yeah, but you're a Green Bay Packers fan.
Yeah.
Like that's all there is here.
conversation.
Minnesota Vikings fans and Green Bay Packer fans. That's
Yeah.
who we have around here.
You know, we need just a little bit of an excuse to talk shit about any Minnesota team. So that's you opened
That's
up the
good.
door and I walked right in.
Well, the Timberwolves are pretty solid. So in the West, the Timberwolves were number 1 like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then they ended number 3 because it goes 57, 57, 56. Whereas on the East, the Celtics are like 7-8 games ahead of second.
Mm-hmm.
And the Celtics, dude, they're not a super team at all.
Yeah.
They don't even have a guy. They don't even have a guy that's in the top 5 for MVP race. They don't even have that. Jason Tatum, I think, could be, and probably should be.
I would say I'm surprised he wasn't even.
But
guess top 5. But
I think Jason Tatum is good. And so when I say this, it's not like a knock against Jason Tatum. But when I think of like best players in the NBA, I don't think of him. But the thing is it's like their team should be thought of that way because it is so great. They are so deep. They have such great synergy. They play ball so well together. And they're a lot of fun to watch, which is what I love about basketball. It's one of the reasons I don't necessarily love the NBA. I do like watching college basketball because it is a little bit more team oriented. But as we've talked about with the transfer portal, with the NIL, and stuff, I think we're going to start to potentially lose some of that, which is a bit of a shame. Which is a bit of a shame.
Right.
But I don't know, dude. The Timberwolves, Ant-Man. You go watch his highlights. Go watch when he backboard stuffed a dude and like knocked himself unconscious. Or how about when he took off from like the free throw line and just threw the ball in and pulled his fingers out of the socket while simultaneously crotch dragging a dude. It was nuts, dude. He's something. And they don't even have Karl Anthony Towns right now. They don't even have the guy that's supposed to be their number 1.
Their number 1. Yeah. I remember when he was first drafted, everyone was all super excited about it and
Towns?
stuff. Yeah.
Cat's good though.
I did see the buzzer beater for the Nuggets versus the Lakers. That was pretty cool. That was last night, I think.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw that. It was I can't remember. I don't even know who the guy was. I just saw the buzzer beater was tied, last second shot. God, I wish I knew who it was. I'm gonna look it up now because now it's bothering me. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
Feel free to talk about. Okay. Other things
Jamal
about
Murray. Jamal Murray. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. Wow,
oh my gosh, dude! What's worse than Jamal Murray though is Anthony Davis's reaction to it.
Yeah.
They said, "How do you feel about that last play?" And he's like, "Jamal Murray made a shot," and he like chucks the mic down and walks out.
Oh my
Jamal Murray made a great shot.
I mean, he's not wrong, I guess.
No, I mean, yeah, but woo. I mean, tensions are high, man. You're the Lakers. You got Anthony Davis, MVP candidate. Not right now, but has been talked about for it.
Right.
You have LeBron James, MVP candidate. least been talked about for it. I don't know who else they got right now. Oh, dude, there's a kid. Oh, what is his name? What is his name? Oh, this is gonna bug me. Can I look it up from where I'm
Yeah,
at right
go
now?
ahead. I think it's crazy. While we're talking about like interviews and stuff, how much like heat Clay Thompson's gotten in that playoff game or that play-in game. He was like 0 for 10, 0 points, and everyone's saying like he needs to go and he sucks, and they just don't remember, 5 to 8 years ago when he was part of the dynasty of the Golden State. Did you see all
Mm-hmm.
those comments and stuff? I think it's crazy how soon people forget what someone's done just because they had a
Yep.
bad day or a bad night.
Well, yeah, and he's coming off of an injury. I just don't know that you'll ever have Klay Thompson again.
Yeah.
He was
Well, I mean,
injured
look
for
at
like a year and some change, dude.
but look at Draymond Green. He was a staple, and now he's just getting ejected left and right, getting suspended for just fighting people and punching people and being an idiot. I mean, you get paid
Yeah.
millions of dollars, you can't control your temper. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not in that situation. I don't play professional sports. I don't know what that looks like, but man, I feel like I'd figure it out.
Yeah. Austin Reeves, by the way. Austin Reeves. Dude, go watch an Austin Reeves highlight film. He is magical.
Is he how many years in the league? Or is he
Oh, he's pretty young. I think he's pretty young. I don't have that kind of stat. He's 25.
Yeah,
Born
so
in
I mean,
98, 2 years in the league. Yeah.
yeah,
He's
so
just
nothing
fun.
crazy.
He's just fun to watch. He's very like and one style game like the old street ball stuff. He's got some of that in him. It's pretty
That's
fun to
cool.
watch.
Side note, real quick, I went to an arcade bar this weekend, played some heavy NBA jams.
What arcade bar? In the cities here?
No, in Sioux Falls, it's called 81 Arcade.
Okay.
Up in South Dakota, and man, I've been to the one in Minneapolis as well, but NBA jams.
Wonderland?
Sure. It's that, I don't know. It's on like a residential street. It's got like an upper level. It's got like a outside, and it's got an inside. I've been there like 1 or 2 times. I can't remember exactly where it's at.
I got to take you to Can when you come here.
Okay.
Can Wonderland. Pretty dope.
Yeah. Put it in the books.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
Tell me about your jam
NBA,
experience.
Oh, dude, so fun. Super fun. Super old, but super fun.
Yeah. Did you ever play the new one on like Xbox?
No.
Oh, dope, bro. That was a huge. Speaking of 420, me and the boys.
Yeah.
We'd roll some derbies.
Yep.
Yeah. And we would play some jam.
Back when you were 21. After you got off the boat.
No, this was pre-21, bro. I went to college for 2 semesters.
Nice.
Dropped out about week 1 into the second.
Majored in NBA jams.
Yeah, dude. Majored in ripping that stuff. Hey, but do you know what? What I did major in was pouring a beer, and then I went on and had a career in the restaurant life. And so guess what? Guess what? All those people with business degrees, I actually did something with mine. Guess what? I actually did something with my degree. And it only cost me like $9,000. Woo!
Look at you. Early. You're winning at life.
Yeah. Let's call winning.
You know how you make a W? 2 L's.
2 L's, baby. Hey, that's kind of if there's one moral of the story right there, dude. It's not about it's about what you do with the loss, right? How you let it fuel you. 2 losses does make a win.
Yeah. Now, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Let's not get this confused.
That's right.
2 L's make a W.
Correct.
Kind of goes back to the saying, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up after being knocked down. Right?
And that's exactly where I'm going with it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, look at some of these, famous superstars and movie stars. Robert Downey Jr. He was broke, addicted to drugs, and turned his life around at like 30 or 34, something like that, and now he's worth millions and millions of dollars and a public figure and winning at life. Not supporting you getting addicted to drugs and losing everything. That's not what I'm saying. Don't do that. But I'm just saying you can make something of whatever situation you're in.
Yeah, I think too often people think they need to do it for the testimony. Does that make sense? Like, so often I think people think like, "Oh, if only if my life was harder, I could have done more with it or something." It's like, dude, you have all the reasons
Well,
to be successful.
I
You
think, but
don't need to
now,
go backwards to go forwards.
but I think nowadays, or maybe at least recent, I think people are like, well, if my parents had this, or if I had this when I was younger, I would be more successful. Or if my parents had this much money, or if I was given this opportunity, I would have done this with it. I think a lot of times it's the paradigm is maybe shifted to like, if I had this, I could be successful.
For sure. I think a lot
You
of
know.
people think that, but a lot of people are victims in life.
Oh,
Like,
it's easier to play the victim than take responsibility and make a change.
yeah, yeah.
But
Some people don't even get a lemon rind and they figure out how to make lemonade with it.
right, they get a
Yep.
lime and they
Yeah.
make lemonade.
Lemonade. Yeah, dude. And other people got a sugar factory, a friggin' truck of lemons, a water well coming out of the
Yeah,
ground, and they're sitting on the couch
they're like, oh,
watching TV.
it's not pre-mixed. I can't make lemonade.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't do that.
Somebody gonna give me some instructions here?
Right, yeah.
No.
So, oh, well, Derek, that was a couple different topics. I don't know how we got from the zoo to the NBA to life lessons about working with what you got, but
I
here
mean,
we
that's what's
are.
written on my cue card. I don't know. I figured that was how we got there.
Oh, I wish you'd have let me know that. I would have liked this journey. It was a magical journey for me, and not just because it was 420 a couple days ago. It was
Yeah.
magical. So, but I
Hitler's
think
birthday.
it's time. I think we'll call it
You would
there.
remember that it's Hitler's birthday, wouldn't you? You
You
sicko
said it, not
Aries.
me.
No, I know, but you're the one that talked about it being 420. I know you don't smoke weed.
I'm not happy. I'm just saying. I'm letting everyone know it felt magical in all natural aspect.
Yeah, magic mushrooms, maybe.
No, nope, not that either. That's oof. I don't know about that. But anyways,
I'm Derek.
and I'm Jared, and this is Two Peas and a Pod.
Peace out, everybody.